Hello everyone, you're watching Sports Tiger. I am Yuvraj Dua, and with me today I have the CEO of Cuproyale, Ralph Brown, to answer some very interesting questions. First of all, I think it would be better if Ralph, you give yourself a proper introduction to our viewers instead of me giving you an introduction.
Oh, well, I don't know. Mine's not that fancy. I guess I hold a couple of world records in boating. One is the smallest powerboat ever crossed the Atlantic Ocean, as well as a couple of other world records. And so we're getting ready to create the first annual powerboat race all the way around the world. More than 50,000 miles. And it's exciting. We're looking for a team from 50 countries. The first 50 countries that sign up are going to get a team. And then the other 156 countries, I guess, are going to be out. That's the way it works. There's only really room for about 50 boats. Anyways, I'm sorry, I get wound up. Go ahead. You ask your questions. I'll stop talking.
That's okay. That's okay. We're here to talk about you only. And even if you digress, that's not a problem at all. So powerboat race around the world, 50,000 miles. That's absolutely fabulous. I think that's the first time we've heard that. So we'll straight away start with the first question I have for you. So already you've explained about the powerboat race. Can you explain the detailed process of this Cuproyale so that our viewers get a better insight? And how are you planning to basically go about this and conduct this race?
Oh, okay. Well, it's there's a lot of things that I'm going to tell you will change. Okay, we know that as any organization that starts up, as they grow, they change things. We know that's going to change. So bear that in mind. But the plan is that we're putting together 50 teams. We're in the middle of raising some money. We have the contracts for all of the money we need at this point in time. We don't have it in our hands yet, but we have contracts for it, which is good. Okay. In fact, that phone call I got a few minutes ago was one of the people involved. And so we'll, anyways, we have that going. We're going to, for me, my point of view is I'm going to start a gigantic publicity tour, telling the whole world what we're doing this. I'm taking a boat, and a power boat has never, ever, ever beaten the sailboats for going around the world. Never. The sailboats going around the world is 41 days for a sailboat. That's pretty doggone good. And you think, well, gee whiz, the power boats can do 200 miles an hour. They'd be faster. The problem is they go 200 miles an hour for about, an hour, and then they're out of gas or out of fuel. The record for a power boat to go around the world is 61 days. It's a whopping 50% more. And we're going to be the first power boat to ever go around the world faster than a sailboat. We've got this plan. We expect to do it. And so if we can go around the world in about 37 days and break that record, then we want to challenge the rest of the world to race us. But our races, if you just got in a boat and raced around the world, that would be boring. Okay, no one's going to watch that. Okay, and what we want to do is we want something that's going to be exciting and intriguing. So all the boats will arrive in the one place. Now, right now, the harbor that we plan to start from is San Diego, California, United States of America. That may change. In fact, it probably will change. But that's the current plan. We'll start from there. We're going to race from there to Hawaii, which is about 2,500 miles. Okay. Then from which there's never been a powerboat race 2,500 miles. Never mind 50,000 miles. There's never been one for 2,500. So we're going to race from San Diego to Hawaii, from Hawaii to Japan, from Japan to Hong Kong, from Hong Kong to Sydney, Australia, from Sydney, Australia. Now, this is a change we're just in the middle of making right now. Previously, we were going to go from Sydney, Australia, below Australia, okay, around to Perth, Australia. But we're canceling Perth. We're adding, instead, Cape Town, South Africa. Now, that's 5,000 miles. You can't make it there. But there is an island in the middle, a small island. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but they have fuel, okay? So you'll race from Sydney, Australia to the small island, from the small island to Cape Town, South Africa. From Cape Town, South Africa, we plan to go to Mumbai, India. Okay, now there's a couple of places on the way you can stop. Now, We've also talked to another city. What is the name of that city? I apologize. It's on the southwest side of India. Begins with a C or a K.
Kerala, maybe. Kerala is on the west coast. Yes. Maybe it's Goa. You might be going to Goa because there are a lot of ports there. Goa is the place.
There's another. That's not the name of the place I'm thinking of. It's a beautiful city, but it's not as populated as Mumbai is. So of course we're trying to do something for where all the population is. I'll have to come back to that. Kukan.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, Ralph. I'm not sure.
I have to look on the map. I apologize. I don't remember off the top of my head. But from Mumbai, India, the plan is to go to Dubai. From Dubai, we're going all the way to Venice, Italy. Okay, but you're going to come back down out of there through the Suez Canal in the Mediterranean, all the way up to Venice, Italy. From Venice, Italy, we're going to either go to more than likely we're going to end up in either Cannes, France, or Valencia, Spain, one or the other. Okay, they're pretty close to each other. Then from there, we're going to Morocco, one of the ports in Morocco. From there, we're going to race up to Norway, Oslo, Norway. From Norway to St. Petersburg, Russia. From St. Petersburg, Russia, okay, now you have to go through the southern tip of Greenland. We're not stopping in Greenland, but you have to go through there. But from St. Petersburg, Russia to New York City, that's a very long, crazy haul. And we're making it in the rules, you have to go through the southern tip of Greenland. The reason for going through the southern tip of Greenland is it's full of icebergs. And that is just great TV. Race boats dodging in and out of just dodging in and around icebergs. Now, I'm a Florida boy. Here in Florida, we don't have iceberg. We don't have snow. We don't have anything. So when I saw my first iceberg, my brother and I spent 5 hours taking pictures of the iceberg. In fact, we went wakeboarding around the iceberg, just, on surfboard. Well, I say we. No, I drove the boat. He went wakeboarding. I wasn't getting in that cold water. That was just cold, cold, cold water. But he got in.
Even I hate cold.
He was wearing a wetsuit, but his feet are exposed, and he's in that water for hours. And so the next day, his feet just swelled way up. I mean, just swelled up. He's still trying to convince me that had nothing to do with floating around in that ice water for hours. When he got out, he said, "Did I want to go wakeboarding? No, I'll go wakeboarding in Florida, where the water's warm." Okay, no desire to wakeboard with icebergs. It was just too cold looking for me. But anyways, from New York, and then from there, we're going to race to Panama. Okay, basically down the coast through the Caribbean to Panama, and boats can stop wherever they want to get refuel. It's their choice. And that's part of the challenge, is the decision of where to stop for fuel. Okay, and what to use for fuel. Some people are going to probably use hydrogen. Some are going to use diesel. Some are going to use gasoline, or I guess it's called benzene in some countries, or petrol, gasoline. Basically, we have been planning to use for our boat diesel, but we're really taking a very serious look at hydrogen right now. It's unbelievable potential of using the hydrogen. So it's a little bit more expensive, but per pound, you can actually get more energy out of it. And weight's a big deal. Very, very big deal. So
that actually answers my next question, Ralph. I was about to ask you, how do you plan to improve the efficiency? Because I read in a very detailed way on your website that you're planning to improve the fuel efficiency of boats around the world. So you've already answered that question. Another question that I want to ask you is, how did this idea crop up into your mind of having a boat race around the world? Because it seems pretty daunting. The way you've explained it, it seems like a tall task. How did this plan come into your mind? Where did you get inspired by?
Well, years ago, I was out fishing with my kids. And here in the United States, we celebrate Thanksgiving. It's always on a Thursday. And the following day is Friday, and it's the biggest shopping day of the year where all the women like to go shopping. I say women, guys do too, but not me. I hate it. Absolutely hate, walking through a mall with 50,000 people trying to fight for what they want. It's the biggest shopping day of the year. So me, when my wife goes shopping, okay, I take my boys and go fishing.
That's nice. That's better, I guess.
To me, I cannot. The mall with 50 million people pushing on each other and just trying to get to everything. That's not me. So I went fishing and camping with my kids, and we were out fishing on the Friday after Thanksgiving, and I hit a rock and I broke the motor, and it got me mad. Here we are, we can put a man on the moon. We can't make a boat that goes over the top of those rocks and is safe, and is still safe in the ocean. And so I got really, really involved with the idea of making a boat that can run in this much water. When I'm talking literally, I'm talking 3 inches of water, and be safe enough on the ocean. And I did. I got the boats to work. It took me a lot of money and several years of work, but the boats can run in this much water, and they're safe enough to cross the ocean. And that's how I hold 4 world records with one of those boats. So they work quite well. But in that process, I ran across an idea that got a lot of better fuel economy in boats. Now, most people don't realize this. Boats and ships get horrible, absolutely horrible fuel economy. I mean, to move a ship, most people, the average ship is about 100 gallons. Okay, you guys, you think in liters, right? We're thinking gallons, liters. Okay, there's 3.78 liters to a gallon. Okay, almost 4. You just round it off to 4 to be equal. Okay, 400 liters to move a ship 1 mile.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Now you guys think in kilometers, right?
Yeah, kilometers, liters. That's
okay. So
unit of.
So a mile is like 1.3 kilometers.
I think
1.4.
1. Yeah, around that, I suppose.
About 1.4, because a kilometer is 0.6 miles. Okay.
Yeah.
So if to go, about 1.4 kilometers, okay, you using 400 liters, that's a lot. Okay, that's insane. The biggest ones, the biggest cruise ships, okay, they're using 400 gallons to go 1 mile. Now, so to translate that to liters, that's 1,600 liters approximately, okay, to go 1.4 kilometers. That's insane. Yet ships do 90% of the global trade. And they haven't improved, the economy of a ship hasn't improved much at all since 1957, 63 years. That's the last major change for propulsion. Now, we've gone to ferries use different kinds of propulsion. Most of them don't use fuel efficient propulsion at all. They use jet drives, and jet drives are not designed for, the reason you use a jet drive rather than use a propeller is because a jet drive is more manageable. The maintenance is predictable, whereas the maintenance on a propeller is not as predictable. So you use it for different reasons, if that makes any sense. But when it comes to ships, moving cargo, all ships, okay, use propellers. But the last major change took place in 1957, 63 years ago. We've not really seriously improved them at all. So the contest for the race around the world is about letting every team use whatever they think is best. Now, when we look at computers, if you go back to the history of computers, the 2 big computer companies going back, 50, 60 years ago, Hewlett-Packard and IBM, their philosophy was, we know it all, we can do it all ourselves. Okay, that was their basic philosophy. Bill Gates got involved with them, and they had no interest in Bill Gates whatsoever. However, Bill Gates' his mother, was on the board of directors of a big charity called United Way with the IBM.
Wow.
and basically the chief executive officer for IBM. So she talked them into giving Bill a shot. Okay. And so, hey, if mama helps, man. Okay. But anyways, then if you go listen to, but IBM and Hewlett Packard basically had the philosophy that they were the experts and nobody else was going to help them. You know, if it's going to be done, it's going to be done by us. And if you go to Hewlett Packard, Steve Jobs and Steve Wozniak went to Hewlett Packard with their ideas, and Hewlett Packard had the same basic philosophy. Okay, you know, we're the experts, don't worry about it. You know, but what happened was young people with new ideas, okay, went into the computer industry. They have pooled knowledge, okay, where they each they didn't really share on purpose, but they ended up sharing pooled knowledge. So you got new ideas, pooled knowledge, massive competition, and massive research. And look at what happened to the computer industry. On your phone, look something like that. You have more computer than all of IBM and all of Hewlett Packard had back in those days, because new ideas came to the table, pooled knowledge. The knowledge was compounded on, and you know, massive competition and massive research. And that's what I want to bring to the shipping industry. The shipping industry burns about 6% of the energy that's consumed on this planet every year is consumed by the shipping industry. Somewhere in the area of 100 billion gallons of diesel fuel or oil are burned every year by ships. 100 billion. So for those of you that think in liters, multiply that times 4. It's actually 3.78, but round it off to 4. That's, you know, it's 400 billion liters is burned up in shipping. And I'm, you know, I just think we should use our Earth's resources better than use an old system that really hasn't been improved much in 63 years.
I really love, Ralph, how you're so passionate about this, so into this. And I think I already know it's going to be a huge success, the way you're talking about it, the way you've conceptualized and visualized it in your mind. It's unprecedented. We've never seen anything like it, but it sounds fabulous. And in the end, Ralph, it's also about business. So what kind of viewership are you expecting for this event?
Well, the beauty of this, okay, is we can go look at other things that exist right now. So in the United States of America, we had this great big thing called the Super Bowl. It's where the you know, American football, which is different from your football, but American football, we call your football soccer. But anyways, American football, where we beat each other up on the field. Okay, which is that's American mentality. But we have a Super Bowl. It's the biggest thing in America, and 110 million people watch it. Okay, that's 1/3 of the United States population. Now we go look at a sailboat race around the world called the Volvo Ocean Race, which does things a lot like what we want to do. But they sail from country to country like we do. But when you get to the country, we want to race in the harbor. So the same boats that just raced, like from St. Petersburg, Russia, to New York Harbor, when they get to New York Harbor, we wait for all the boats to arrive at a certain time and a place. We have a race in the harbor where the exact same boats that just raced across the ocean are now racing each other in the harbor. And you ever watch boat races? I mean, they're pretty aggressive. People like to watch them. You know, people like to watch car races for the wrecks. The boat races are 10 times better. 10 times the wrecks. They're just 10 times better. The boats flip up in the air, all kinds of neat stuff. You know, hey, it's gonna happen.
Be fun to watch.
It's gonna happen. Okay. And so the roar, when these big boats come zooming by you, and the water's just spraying everywhere. I mean, it's just a blast. And the helicopters come in right behind them. The helicopters will come in and follow the race boats, and the water's just flying everywhere. And it makes great TV. But we expect to race around harbors, and then the same boats go back out and race across the ocean. So when you go to an American boat race and ask the people that are watching, because I mean, the crowds that show up for this are huge. They're bigger than our football crowds that show up. They're huge. And you go ask them, hey, what team are you rooting for? I don't know. I just want to see them crash. You know, that kind of, they have no idea. So what we do, and I'm sure you guys do with your football. What we do with our football is that we have thousands and thousands of football games, but only a couple of them are professional. Okay, and the professional games are stuck with the city. So, like if you have the New York Yankees or New York Giants for football, okay, and New York Jets, okay, you have the Los Angeles Rams, you have the Miami Dolphins. Those are teams, but they're attached to a city. I live in Tampa Bay, Florida, and so our heritage in Tampa Bay is quote unquote Pirates. Well, another name for Pirates is Buccaneers. So we're the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, okay? Because we like to cheer about our Pirates in the past, even though we would shoot them if we had a chance, but we cheer about it, okay? So it's just, but Tampa Bay, we my family and I, well, at least my wife and I, we like to watch the Buccaneers play football, and we cheer for them, okay? And we're going to find that most people in India are going to cheer for the team from India. Most people in Spain are going to cheer for the team from Spain. Most people in the United States are going to cheer for the team USA. So the way we're structuring this is that there's one team per country. And so in most cases, who you're rooting for. So instead of you going down to the boat races here in the United States, who you rooting for? I don't know. I just want to wait and see a wreck. Okay. But then you can say I'm rooting for Team USA. Okay. And if you're from Saudi Arabia, maybe you'll root for Team Saudi. Okay. If you're from Spain, you'll root for Team Spain. It's kind of like swimming. Now, I don't know how much, in India, you guys know about American athletes, but we had this guy named Michael Phelps. That was really good. Pardon me?
Probably we do know him. He's very, very famous. Probably the best swimmer in the world, Michael Phelps.
Okay. So, right. So, but I'm a very, very good swimmer. I can swim. By the time I could walk, I could swim just about. Okay. I've swam all my life. But when it comes to tournaments, swimming tournaments, I don't watch them. No real. Yeah. I don't. But what's interesting is when it's the Olympics and Michael Phelps is swimming, I'm there at the edge of my seat. Come on, Michael, come on, waiting for him to swim because he represents the United States of America and he's the best in the world or close to it. Okay. So I sit there and I watch. Again, I don't watch swimming normally. And I think when it comes to boat racing, it's going to be the same way. A lot of people who don't really care about boat racing, when it's Team India, okay, racing for it, they're going to sit down the edge of the seat and they're going to wait. And when the two boats collide, they want the Indian boat to keep going and the other one to go over because they do collide, okay? But when you get these big boats that are moving fast, they're going to bump each other. It just happens, okay? That's all part of the process. And when it comes to zigzagging in, you're looking for Team India to be really good at zigzagging. Okay, I'm not. I'm rooting for Team USA to be really good at their zigzagging. So we want to have that. We want to have all of the rivalries that you have, and you're going to have like we have NASCAR racing. These safety gear on NASCAR has gotten so good. They're just so incredible that they can run into a wall doing 200 miles an hour. The car flips over about 15 times, comes to a stop, and the guy, he's climbing out of the car. He's still alive. Not only is he still alive, but he's climbing out of the car. He's throwing his helmet down, and all the cars are stopped because of the wreck. He's chasing down the guy that caused the wreck, and he wants to get him and go. We're going to allow that kind of we have to allow a certain amount of anger to be displayed. That makes part of the show. Okay, that's part of the competition. There's going to be a certain amount of anger. Of course, you can't hit somebody with a weapon. You can't pound somebody's head into something, but you've got to be, you can't hold somebody's head underwater. Okay, those kind of things. Okay, because then, but you should be able to display a little anger. Again, this is okay. Yes, it's 100% environmental. We're interested in that, but yes, it's 100%. We're interested in the entertainment part. and we're in the entertainment business, okay, and we have to be aware of that. And everybody that races is aware that they're in the entertainment business, and people are going to some people are going to be happy, others are not going to be happy. That's the way it goes, and that's the world of sports. You always have a winner and you have a loser. Okay, you know, if every game was a tie, no one would watch it. Who would care? Okay, you want your team to win. You know, come on. Am I right?
We'll surely be doing that in India, Ralph, rooting for our team India. But more than that, I'm rooting for this race to be a success, the Cuproyale. It sounds really good. It sounds really passionate. The way you've summarized it for us, it sounds absolutely beautiful. I am looking forward to it so much. You have no idea. After this chat with you, I am really pumped up for it. I'm really energetic. It was lovely having a chat with you, Ralph. I think all of our viewers will also enjoy that. I don't think they have been this much into powerboat racing, but now they will be because of one person, and that is Ralph Brown. Lovely having a chat with you, Ralph Brown. I hope we are able to talk sometime in the future as well. Due to dearth of time, we have to end this interview. But I could talk to you all day. You sound like a really interesting person. So I'll see you again for sure in the future. Till then, namaste from India.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to me. And I'm excited about your program. I'm excited about your people. Excited about what all's going on. And we think this is going to be a super success.
Yeah, I hope so too. Thank you.
Thank you.